Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be talking about an interesting topic that often pops up when we are talking about fitness, when we are talking about health, when we are talking about weight management. It's a topic that might interest you if you want to lose weight. It's a topic that might interest you if you are into dieting as well, or if you are conscious of your weight. And the topic is regular self-weighing. Why would people want to weigh themselves regularly? That's a very interesting question we should be asking. Today we'll look into it and see why people actually weigh themselves. Is there any scientific undertone to it? And what difference does it really make whether you're weighing yourself or not? So let's stay and find out together. My name is Serge, and I am a medical doctor and a writer, and this is coming from my newsletter. So today we'll be taking it in sections, talk about why people weigh themselves. We'll talk about the science behind regular weighing of yourself, and then we'll talk about why regular weighing might not be for everyone. And then we'll summarize by answering the question, what difference does it make whether you weigh yourself or not weigh yourself? Now, let's start. Why do people weigh themselves? Now, it depends on the journey you are into. Some people just weigh themselves routinely. They want to know what their weight is and they want to keep track of it. Some people do it for medical reason, like maybe overweight, or maybe have heart failure and on medication that will make them lose water or even lose weight, and they are tracking their weight changes daily. That might be a reason for it. But they say common things occur commonly. So why do people commonly weigh themselves really? Talking about it, let's say people or someone that is into dieting, why would they be weighing themselves? A common reason is maybe they use it to track changes with the weight loss. If whatever they are doing, the program they are doing, if it's actually working, that might be a very interesting reason why they do it. Some people will do it just to, it gives them motivation when they say that, oh, over 1 week, I've lost a kg, I've lost 0.5 kg. That's a source of motivation, right? And somehow too, if you look at it closely, it can help you be accountable to whatever you are doing, whether it's dieting or exercise. Whatever you are doing, you can use it as as an accountability to track how successful you are with your weight loss journey or fitness journey. Okay, now having said that, and another question we need to ask is regular weighing for everyone? I will say not exactly. It's not exactly for everyone because there are certain issues or problems we might consider to be minor, but they are not actually minor when we start weighing ourselves regularly. Especially when we start having something like some social problems with it, psychological problems with it, or even misunderstanding the whole weighing itself and difficult, you know, linking it or associating it with the journey or whatever program we are into. An instance is whenever you keep weighing yourself and you discover that you are beginning to be obsessed about the numbers. Like it's all about getting the number down, getting the number down. You're not thinking about, are you fit? Is the weight too low for you? What about the BMI? You are not linking it with all those things. Then I think there is a problem in that case. Then another way where another situation it becomes a problem is when you are going ahead with your regular self-weighing, and at a point you discover that you're beginning to have a negative self-image, like you tend to not be satisfied with yourself, really. Like you feel like you are not what you should be, like maybe you should be thinner, maybe like you know kind of body shaming one can actually be doing to themselves. When such start happening, then it becomes a problem, really. And another issue that might pop up with regular self-weighing, especially when it happens daily, is when there is kind of a psychological problem that I would say body dysmorphism kind of a psychological situation whereby you feel unsatisfied or bad about your appearance in general, and you are linking it with your weight, tie it up there, and it's frustrating you, that it's a problem. Then, more like it again is when you practice regular self-weighing, but you discover that you are missing the non-scale victories, because everything is not captured on the scale. There are certain things like fitness, energy level, motivation, and all that are not captured on the scale. And when this is the case, it becomes a problem. In that case, you might want to review what you are doing and be sure you're not missing it or mixing things up. Then, that said, are there tips I can give you that will help you in the best way you can, practice regular self weighing of yourself? Don't mind me. So, is there any tip I will give you? Yes. One is that it's best if you have a particular skill you will always use, and possibly the same type of skill, not you use one at home, another one at work. That's fine anyway, but just know that there might be a difference. But if you are able to use the same skill, perfect. And then again, if you are able to take this measurement at a particular time in the day constantly, especially in the morning, is always good. Do it in the morning, and that's fine. And another thing I want to say is that, because I mentioned earlier that not all the parameters are captured by the number in the scale. Some you could as well, use other parameters to as well check or, estimate if whatever you're doing, exercise or dieting, if it's working. And some of the things you could use is think about the wristwatch you're wearing. Is it still fitting in well? Is it becoming loose or is it becoming tight? This could tell you. What about your waist, your belt? The number where you normally hook it, does it change? What about your clothes, your shirts, your top and cap and all that? Your eyeglasses that used to give you marks somewhere there, does it still give you that mark? These are things you can look at, and that will tell you exactly if there is progress or there is no progress. Okay. Then one last thing I will want to tell you when it comes to maintaining a healthy weight, regular weight weighing habit. What I will tell you is track the trend rather than the daily changes. When it comes to weight loss, there is a lot of artifacts or variation you will get during the day if you practice day-to-day weighing of yourself. Because it's what I mean by artifact is actually that if you wake up in the morning and you eat before you weigh yourself, that will alter it. If you open bowel before then, that might give a little change to it that you might think doesn't count. But if you are very critical about the number, that might be frustrating. You think you are not, moving anywhere. Even drinking water and all that could give a little variations here and there. But these things happen on a daily basis. But if you focus on tracking it, this change over in weeks, like, or maybe do weekly weighing, which I prefer actually, because that's when those artifacts are reduced, and those, wavy variations are reduced. And it as well, if you do weekly, that might as well reduce your anxiety if you're becoming tilting towards being having some anxiety related to your weighing and all that. So that's what I have to say when it comes to tips. If you are able to pick some of them, that's very good. Then finally, let's talk about let's come back to the question we started with. Should we be weighing ourselves really? Does it make any difference? And based on our discussion so far, I would say, well, it depends on the person. It depends on why you are weighing yourself, like the medical reason, is it for the weight loss? And it depends if you are not becoming apprehensive or, falling into body dysmorphism or negative self-image and any other negative vices that comes with weighing yourself regularly. If that is not you, then you might benefit from regular self-weighing. It's definitely a nice thing to do. And for me, I prefer weekly self-weighing than daily self-weighing, except where it's quite indicated. But that's not a medical advice anyway. That's personal preference, and I've given you a reason why I think that will be preferred. So that's what we have for today. And if you find this channel useful, I will appreciate it if you like and comment and then subscribe to the channel so you can get notified as well whenever we have a new video up here. And thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for your time watching this. I very well appreciate that. Thank you and bye. See you next time. Thank you.